Good morning, Westchester University. My name is Justin Sachoka, and thanks so much for joining in for Ramblings Live. This is brought to you by the Westchester University Alumni Association, and we love to have this program because this is a way in which that we all get connected. So we know that a lot of us are home right now. I'm coming to you from my house, and we get to connect with other Westchester University alumni right here on Facebook with our Facebook Live. We've been doing this for several weeks now. We've had a whole bunch of episodes and have connected with a lot of different alumni from all different walks of life. And today, it's pretty unique because we're going to be speaking with two alumni that are one is at the Chester County Food Bank. One works at the university now, and we're going to introduce them in just a second. We're going to talk about the WCU Resource Pantry. But before we dive into that, what we're going to do is let you know, as always, we love to hear where you're coming from. So we want to know, put in the comment section where it is you're watching us from. We'd love to see where Golden Rams have wandered off to and what part of the country or what part of the world they ended up in. And anybody that comments is going to be randomly entered to win a t-shirt. This was really popular last time that we did this, so we wanted to bring the t-shirt back again. It's your choice of color here on what shirt you want. We're going to pick a winner randomly in about 24 hours. So after this show airs for the next day or so, we're going to pick somebody, send you a message, and you just let us know what size and color you want. We're going to send it your way. So make sure you comment and let us know where it is that you are watching from. And without any further ado, let's bring in Ann Shuniak first, because Ann, I was practicing in my head how to say your last name. I wanted to make sure that I got it right. So Ann Shuniak, who's from the Chester County Food Bank, and then also Pam Frontino, who currently works at Westchester University. And both of you, you both went to Westchester, but what, oh no, okay. I got that wrong. It's Ann that went to Westchester and graduated in 99?
I did.
Okay, and Pam, you work at Westchester now. There we go. All right, now we got it all worked out there. So thank you so much, both of you, for coming in and joining in on Ramblings Live with us. How are you both doing?
Doing well. We're hanging in day by day. It's how we're taking it. That's sort of been us the whole time here at the food bank, and I think all of us just as a public, right? Day by day.
Sure.
Day by day, you kind of wake up every day and go, what day is it? And you kind of have to come to terms with that, but we're hanging in and doing our work.
Yeah. That's excellent. And Pam?
Same on my end. As you all know, there have been some changes to the university and sort of our plans for what will happen this fall semester. And we're, I think, kind of just taking it in stride and making changes as we go and kind of staying on our toes with that.
Well, glad to hear that both of you are doing well, and appreciate you taking some time out of your day to talk with us and chat with us. Because as I said to you, we talked briefly before this. The WCU Resource Pantry I have heard of, but I don't know too much about it. So I'm really looking forward to learning about it today. And I know that everybody else that's watching along with this as well, I'm sure is looking forward to learning about it, because what I've heard is just kind of the basic information. It's that higher elevated view that there's a resource pantry that's available on campus, but I don't know too many of the details. So can you share more information as to what that resource pantry is?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think probably a lot of people are familiar with the basics as well. We have been operating for several years now. I think opened about 4 years ago, and we've been in our current location in Commonwealth Hall for the past 3. We really couldn't do it without the Chester County Food Bank, so I'll talk about that in a moment. But the resource pantry it's available to any registered Westchester University student. You just have to have an ID number and make that available when you do visit. We offer food items, both fresh food, either from our campus gardens or from some other great sources. We also have shelf-stable food items that you can take and store in your residence halls or your apartments. Students also have access to personal care items, so things like toiletry items. We have some school supplies, and then we also have a career clothing closet that is helpful for students who are planning an interview or an internship, that kind of thing. We do have items available, but I'd say the food and the personal care items, that's the most needed items for our students. And we do supply quite a bit of those throughout the year. We run based on donations. So we're really, extremely lucky to have some really wonderful community partners in the area and beyond. As I mentioned, we work really closely with the Chester County Food Bank. We have access to a lot of great fresh food and also some of the shelf-stable, non-perishable items as well. And in addition to that, they're a really great source of just information for us, whether we're sharing with students about some other resources in the area that they can take advantage of, or things like nutrition and health information. We really strive to promote healthy eating. So the food bank has been really a great source for that information for our students and for our staff who are sharing that with students. But we are open all year round. Things have been a little bit trickier with the pandemic recently, but we are planning to reopen in just a couple of weeks. And so I'm really excited to be able to serve students again in that way.
Yeah, I didn't realize how much the pantry did. I mean, one question in already, I feel like I've learned so much about it and gained more knowledge with it. Now, this partnership with the Chester County Food Bank, and I'm going to let you talk a little bit about that and tell me about the partnership. And then I want to go a little bit further too, because you being an alumni, how unique of a position that you're in, that not only do you get to help people every day at the Chester County Food Bank as it is, but then to come back and help Westchester University alumni, I would imagine is just extra special for you.
Absolutely. The partnership started, my coworker sat actually on a committee with the university. Phoebe was at the time our director of agency partnerships. She just retired from the food bank, but she sat on a committee because the Westchester knew that there was a need there for students and they weren't quite sure what that was going to look like. There are a number of universities, actually Temple has a very large one of the, and how it's growing, and looking at sometimes they are just food pantries, sometimes they're resource pantries. And so there was a committee that over a couple year span of what was going to be the best thing and how to go about that. And so I was very fortunate to sort of, sit in on some of those early meetings and not only proud because I'm here at the food bank, proud, so proud as an alum. And I live in Westchester. I might be seeing the campus more than you guys because I walk my dog through there on the weekends. So I might be down there more than you. It's one of those things when you do the work that we do, you're hoping that you're going to work yourself out of a job. But when we need to do this, let's rally the communities that we have to really support not only those that need it and just to get the word out. So it constantly warms my heart that the university does that. Even speaking with them through everything now, right? Like the students in general aren't on campus, but there are some students that are on campus, and making sure that the support is there for them through this time.
Yeah, I love that you still come back to Westchester University and you have that connection, not only just through working with everything here, but you come down and you get to visit. And as I'm watching social media here and seeing comments that are coming through, Denise saying how she loves that WCU takes care of their own. And when it comes to people who are watching this right now, who want to give donations, because we had mentioned about how this is donation based, how can somebody do that? How can somebody donate it? And you were just mentioning it. To me, it seems like if you were to open up a food pantry or a resource pantry, it would be as simple as, okay, we have some space at the university. Let's put a whole bunch of stuff in there from donations and give it out. My guess is that that's probably not what the process is. So what is a little bit of that process of getting it up and running, and what was that work like? And then how can people donate to help support and continue this on?
Well, I do think it starts there, and I think that's how things started at Westchester University, just some people concerned, some staff, and then it grows, of course, and you want to be able to meet best practices, and you want to be able to make sure you're reaching the best audience possible. So we, several years ago, it was a partnership with the food bank, and we worked with Campus Compact of Pennsylvania to really get things started, because it is a lot of, the operating costs and just understanding how to budget and again, knowing how to reach the students who are in need. So in terms of donations, I will say there are several ways that one can give. First is just through in-kind donations, so giving the actual products that we would have on our shelves. And our, as I mentioned, the Westchester community has been fabulous. We have some really generous supporters. We also have a really large support network just on campus. So our faculty, staff, students, and our alumni make up probably one of the largest groups of donors that we work with.
Wow.
So if folks are interested in actually giving products, so the food or the personal care items, you can actually visit our web page, which is wcupa.edu/pantry. And there's a lot of information there right away now, especially if you go under donate. I have listed sort of all of the most needed items there. And in terms of taking donations, that's going to be starting the week of August 10th. So if people want to email me directly, because of COVID and wanting to maintain social distancing, I am asking that donors make appointments, but it's going to be probably pretty straightforward to do that. So that's one way you can donate. Another is through financial donations, which are always really, really helpful. We actually do purchase some of what we provide, mostly personal care items. With food, we're really lucky. We have the food bank as a main source, so we don't have to purchase much of that, but we do go out and buy personal care items that are in need for students. So donating financially is always definitely appreciated. We have a great partnership with the Westchester University Foundation. They have always been really supportive to us as well. And there are links on our webpage, again, to make donations that way. I also always try to encourage that people do give to the food bank as well, whether it be actual food donations or financial donations, because they are such a strong supporter of ours. And so it kind of indirectly impacts us as well.
So why is the food bank's involvement here with Westchester University and with the Resource Pantry, why is that so important and why is that so crucial for both sides?
Absolutely. So we at the Chester County Food Bank, we're the only food bank in the county, and our role is to service out to organizations like the Resource Pantry, where we work with about 120 different organizations throughout the county, and we're the warehouse, right? To Pam's point, the Resource Pantry isn't all that big. And so we can house larger numbers and larger inventory at our place. And then we have deliveries that go out every day. Many times Pam will stop by and do the pickups here. But we're the bank. We have food inside. And so we're in a 36,000 square foot facility located in Exton. We do have box trucks, refrigerated box trucks that go out every day that have their deliveries throughout Chester County, making that cycle through all the different agencies that we serve. As Pam mentioned, they take a focus on healthy eating. That's a really strong mission for us, and the healthy initiative. So we're moving a lot of fresh food right now, fresh produce that we either grow through our partnerships with some local farmers. We have 2 farmers on staff. We do go to auctions. We contract with local farmers. During the pandemic, there's been a number of different government programs that have opened up around fresh food as well. So that's been really nice to see. So that's really important for us, and being able to do those different cooking initiatives. Our agencies are the boots on the ground. So we are in constant communication with what can we do to continue to help? What are we doing during COVID? We have recipes available. We do cooking classes, and that's available. We're just constantly listening to our agencies, and in this time, what can we do that's different? I know in the Pantry will also work with students. Once you're 18, you qualify for SNAP benefits, known as food stamps. And it's kind of like, and so that's something that the Pantry can work through. But we're also looking just across pandemic relief, folks that are needing food assistance for the first time. And they may not qualify for SNAP benefits, but that's also where Resource Pantry and our pantries in general, going to a pantry is a self-declaration of need. So as Pam mentioned, you need to be a registered student, but there are food cupboards throughout the entire county that folks can go to. And that's a self-declaration of need. And as we know, many folks they're in tough times, and we're going to get through this.
Sure.
But your food budget is frequently the first thing that you're going to say, well, let me cut back on my food budget because I need to pay my mortgage, or I got to put gas in the car, or, those other things. It's amazing how quickly you're going to say, I'll just eat less, or I won't eat as healthy food. And so that's really our role at the food bank, working with all of our pantries to do it as healthfully as we can and with as much dignity as we can. And at this time, it's really saying to folks, we're here to help. We are here to help you get through this.
The work that the two of you both do is absolutely amazing and completely admirable. I mean, the programs that you have in place, and I didn't realize how much you have done even with COVID-19 to adjust and still continue on, that it's not just, okay, here's food, that there's other programs around that. That's really quite incredible. Do you have any numbers? I think that when I remember, I was in the Friar Society at Westchester University, and I remember volunteering with a lot of different organizations. And to me, the numbers were always staggering, of whether it was Chester County or even the university, of the people that take advantage of these programs. And I think a lot of people don't realize how frequently it is. How many Pam students are using the pantry on a weekly or monthly basis?
So weekly, I'd say, sort of depending on the time of the semester, we see up to about 200 students using.
Wow.
Well, 200 visits, I would say, and those could be sometimes repeats, but mostly that is they'll just come maybe once a week. But we see about that number. On campus, recent surveys have shown that about 30% of our students do experience some type of basic need insecurity. That could be food insecurity or other financial hardships. So as you can imagine, the need is there, and we are anticipating that with COVID-19 that number will grow. Now, we won't see as many students actually on campus because the residence halls won't be open. However, there will be quite a few in the area, as there were this past summer. So absolutely, the need is going to be there. And I am preparing, and our team is preparing to really make sure that we can just support whatever need is there. So but during the school year, I would say probably up to about 200 a week we are seeing coming through. And that's a good thing, because we know that students know about it, but we just have to maintain that and be able to really support those who do come.
And how about on the side of Chester County? Because there very well may be people who are watching that are alumni that could take advantage of some of the resources available at the food bank and the other providers that are there. What are some of the numbers countywide?
Absolutely. Countywide, pre-pandemic, we were looking at 75,000 people at risk of food insecurity. So that's at any time, as Pam mentioned with students, at any time you're in that imbalance. We know those numbers are going up, and it's trying to, get a handle on it, because some folks are still on that edge. Looking at our food distribution numbers compared to last year, we are already at a 40% increase in food distribution. So we got a lot more food going out, and just in conversation with all of our pantries, everyone is seeing increases. Everyone is seeing increases. A big increase for us is, as Pam mentioned, purchasing food. We are doing a lot more purchasing right now. Just as we all witnessed, you go to the grocery store and everything is wiped out, right? Well, we're buying from the same wholesalers. So
that was going to be my question right there, was there's not this magic place that you go to. It's you're hurting just as much as the grocery store is. Yeah,
absolutely. So we are accepting food donations at this time. We called it off early on pandemic. It was kind of the uncertainty. We are open for food donations, but it's also tough right now, right? Because it doesn't make sense to tell people, the things that we need, because then you go wipe the grocery store out, and it kind of becomes like this vicious cycle. We were very fortunate early on in pandemic. Our major donor event was May 1st. We obviously weren't able to do that, so we took sponsorship dollars and shifted it to COVID relief. And we were able to make immediate food purchases. So we are purchasing more food than we ever have before, just because of the nature of it. But just as we are witnessing as consumers going into the individual consumers going into the grocery store, there's a delay on items. And some of it's interesting. We placed an order at one point, I think it was for like canned fruit, and it was the labels that were delayed. And so it's like the food's available, but the packaging. You were seeing things with farmers. There's actually a shortage nationwide on the container to hold a dozen eggs, because so many eggs go out in baker's flats, which are 2.5 dozen. And so the shift in industry, those baker's flats go out. Well, prime example to universities, right? University isn't feeding thousands of students anymore. So what do you do with all those baker's flats? And so it's been this interesting shift on the food sourcing and what does that look like? So we are just continuing to order food. We've already placed some food orders, a bulk of our food orders for holiday. That's usually something we start talking about in summer, but now we've already amped up ordering because we're expecting to see even more and more delays. Orders are definitely getting delayed, so we kind of just keep ordering, hoping things are going to arrive. So right now, most of the vast majority of food on our shelves is food that was purchased. So it's saying that out to folks to be able to support the food bank, the resource pantry. If you're out of state, support the resource pantry, and then support the food bank in your community, because I promise you they're up against the same challenges. We as food banks are, a lot of us are buying from the same retailers.
Well, we want to give a shout out to Jeff Plain, who just commented on our social media feed here, who said great information and great service. He's happy to have been able to have sent support from Huntsville, Alabama. He's a proud 1982 graduate. We see that Denise Mason Melnick is on here from the beach right now. She's joining us from New Jersey. And Sherry says, hi, Ann, we were in Phi Sig together. So Sherry Viata Mitchell is saying hello over to you, who is in Phi Sig with you. Speaking of, let's shift gears a little bit to campus. Now, the resource pantry itself is located in Commonwealth Hall. Now, Commonwealth Hall was not there when I was there. Commonwealth Hall was not there
when I was there.
when Ann was there. Pam, I'm going to assume that you know the buildings pretty well. How long have you been at Westchester University for?
So I've been with the university for a little over a year, and I don't know. Some of them, it's pretty campus. So
we're gonna put it to the test. So let's see. We're gonna play a game called Name That Hall. So I have pictures of different halls on campus, and we're gonna see how much you remember. So we're gonna quiz Ann, and then Pam, you're gonna come in with the answers if Pam can't figure, or if Ann can't figure it out. So let's see, Ann, this hall that's up right now. Do you know which hall this is?
Anderson?
That's Anderson. You got it right. Now, I will also say
I don't notice it without the scaffolding.
I know, right? That it's finally gone. I think it's finally gone, scaffolding.
Yeah, I believe so. It had a lot of scaffolding on it when I was there.
For a long time, when I was there too, scaffolding was on. They always had it up there. How about this one right here? Do you know this one?
Oh, I believe I lived here. Is this Schmidt?
That's Schmidt Hall. That's right. Now, the last person to have played this got one and a half right. So you've already won. You're already on the leaderboard. Congratulations.
Yes.
It's also only the second time that we played this. A classic hall was in the logo at a certain point. Which one is this?
This is the Phillips Memorial Emily K. Asplund Concert Hall.
That is exactly right. You got the full name there. How about this one? People get confused between Anderson and this sometimes. Which one is this? Oh, we may have stumped her.
Wait, it's not. Because it's not Ruby. Because it's not the.
It's not Ruby.
It's not Ruby.
Nope. Pam, do you know?
I was going to guess Ruby as well.
No, it starts with an R. It's Recitation Hall.
Oh, right.
Right in between, right in the quad, right in between Anderson and the quad. How about this one?
That's Ruby.
There it is. There you go. That's Ruby Jones
Hall. I spent a lot of time in Ruby Jones. So
did you? Was that where a lot of your classes were?
Yeah, I was political science.
I had one class there.
And Sherry, since I have a Phi Sig and any Greek members, especially sorority, we always did our pictures there. So.
Oh yeah, you actually walking by. I always remember seeing all the groups were always.
Yep.
up there on Ruby Jones on those stairwells there. How about this? This is a newer building. I'm sure you walked by it with your dogs before. Which one is this?
And I know it's the new tech building.
Close.
And I know that the courtyard is named after Mel Joseph's.
That's right. The Mel Joseph's Plaza in front. Well, you really pay attention to the details when you're walking around on campus.
And I knew Mel. So, but I don't know the name of the building.
The building is Pam. Can you pitch in here?
We just call it the business building.
Right.
Yeah, it's the business building. That's exactly right.
Oh, that's it. It doesn't have like another name.
No, that's it. The business building. I'm sure for a price you could probably buy it. Somebody could probably put a name on it. I'm sure. How about this one here? We'll end on this.
Oh, wait. Is this the new rec center?
That's exacally right. This is the new rec center. So you really great job. I think there was 2 that you got wrong. One though, you were pretty close on it. So that was excellent. Nice work there.
Some bonus ones in there. I tried to make up for not knowing the building by naming other things.
Yeah, that was great. You threw in some fun facts too from when you were there. It was excellent. Great job. So since we're talking about halls right now, the resource pantry is in Commonwealth Hall. If somebody wants to donate, where can they go to? What can somebody do? Before we wrap up here, let's just give all the information. Somebody that's watching that wants to make either financial donation or donation with actual food or resources.
Yeah, sure. So for right now, because staff are still kind of easing our way back onto campus, we aren't accepting donations right now, but starting the week of August 10th, that is when I will be on campus and I can take donations. But it would be really helpful if people email me ahead of time to set that up. And my email address is pfrontino@wcupa.edu, and I can set up an appointment time or just be available so you can come to campus and I can collect that. You can also visit wcupa.edu/pantry, and if you click on the tab that says donate, there are a few options there. So that's where you can find the link to donate through the Westchester University Foundation and make a financial donation. And it also lists our most needed items right now. So that information should be there. And again, my email address is probably listed somewhere, so you can just contact me and set that up.
Excellent. And now to the Chester County Food Bank, how can people make donations there?
chestercountyfoodbank.org/donate, or if you go right on to chestercountyfoodbank.org, there's a donate button in the upper right. We also have a new portal if you want to have a little fun. We actually have a portal for a virtual food drive, so you can go through there and do that. You can kind of like do it like a team fundraiser as well. That's frequently done like 5K. So that's something new that we launched at the beginning of the pandemic. So that's there. You kind of want to rally those support services. Or if you're local and you want to come and volunteer with us, we do have some volunteer opportunities. You mentioned as a fryer, you volunteered, you might have been out to some of our farms. So if you're local, we do have those opportunities. And all of that is at chestercountyfoodbank.org. Or if you're an alum and maybe we were there at the same time, by all means, reach out to me.
Well, I want to thank you both so much for coming on and joining us. I'm watching on Facebook as people are commenting in. Alondra, who said, thank you so much for this information. And I'm glad that we were able to connect and connect with alumni on Facebook. Just a reminder that anybody that is watching this, if you comment and let us know where it is you're watching from, you can be entered to win one of these Westchester University alumni t-shirts. We are going to reach out to somebody within the next 24 hours, randomly select a winner, and then send a t-shirt directly to your door. And another way that you can help out as well is on Ram Nation. So that's a way that you can go ahead and you can connect with other fellow alumni and help out current students. Everything that you need to know is right on the website, wcualumni.org/Ram Nation. We'll give you all of that information. So make sure that you head on over to search for that. Pam, Ann, thank you so much for joining in. Stay safe. And I hope to see you on campus sometime soon once everything gets back to normal. And I will go run around campus, so I'll look out for you and your dogs.
Okay, fair enough.
Well, you two have a great rest of your day. Be well, stay safe, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you so much.
So long.